I rolled on that track and there's 88,000 people in the stands. I tell you, the goosebumps in the back of my neck and the tears ran down my cheeks. And I thought, that was probably the greatest moment of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome honored member Jim Martinson.
Hey, my name is Jim Martinson, and I'm from Puyallup, Washington, and I'm 74 years old. Growing up in Washington State, I played football, I played baseball. I loved all the sports, but skiing was really the sport that I loved the most. So what happened was I dropped out and I went over to Sun Valley, Idaho, and started skiing. I was skiing in Washington State, wherever I could go skiing, and I got the draft notice. I had no problem with the military, but on the other side of that, I never thought I'd get hurt. Probably the biggest thing that changed my life was on June 29th, 1968, when a group of my fellow combat warriors were getting resupplied with a helicopter, and I remember just stopping and then turning to my left and turning around when a monstrous explosion went off. I woke up in Yokohama, Japan, and legs were gone. The most difficult part of getting back into life and living your life is accepting yourself. I mean, looking at yourself and saying, God, I don't have any feet, I don't have any legs, I don't have any knees. I was a skier, I was a runner, I was a football player. I did all these things. How about would I ever be able to ski again? How can a guy ski with no legs? That's not gonna happen. When I got out of the hospital, I was just spending pretty much all my time just drinking. When I met these guys that were paraplegics and amputees and other disabilities, they were playing wheelchair basketball, I was invited. And that was so really, really healthy for me. Basketball came first, the wheelchair 5K, 10Ks, road races, things like that came second. And I trained, I mean literally trained in this 60-pound wheelchair, and I'm going, this is incredible. The reason that I started manufacturing the wheelchairs and starting Magic in Motion is because I felt like it's ridiculous to give people a 60-pound wheelchair when it's simple to make a 25-pound wheelchair. It snowballed, and it took off.
The Seattle Times pronounced Martinson's company to be one of the world's most successful makers of sports chairs and skis for disabled people. Using his creations, most notably the lightweight wheelchair and monoski, Martinson competed in the 1980, 1984, and 1992 Paralympics, winning 4 gold medals.
The picture right here with Snowmass is the first sit ski that we actually made. It was really cool because what happened was, back then we had the shock that was pretty simple. It was oil to air. So now with all the shocks that we do on the skis and that, they're all nitrogen charged and they're all really, really high tech.
He's really trying to, develop the sit ski while out there crashing it and trying to push its limits and see, what it was really capable of doing. And what the saying they use today is, kind of engineering and making the plane while in mid-flight.
That ski right there, that's what I won the Olympics in. The downhill in the Olympics. Look how monstrous that thing is. 225 downhill board, stiff as a bear. now he's skiing a 182. People will come up and it happened twice the other day. Man, I'll bet you're as good as I am. Not knowing that I won the downhill in France at 62.7 miles an hour. I'm healthy, and that's huge. I can ski because of that. I like to jump too. I'm flying down the mountain, it's ripping. Just the freedom to be able to do that and be able to carve turns, to link your turns together, just realize how fortunate I am. The only thing I think is I don't want to crash at this speed. The thing that I would want to tell people that have disability is hang in there. All of our disabilities are different. There's no two guys or girls that have the same disability. I say give yourself a chance to try everything. Just try it. You can't give up. You just gotta, it's easy for me to sit here and say it because I've been hurt for 53 years. But for you, if you're listening, it's not always easy. It's very discouraging. But don't give up because there is hope. You gotta have your mask over your nose.